Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus again. Early this morning, this Saturday morning, the day before we celebrate Easter. And I'm thinking about the people who are probably less thought about. And these are people who, in America, are on the street corners, almost on every corner, especially in Minnesota, and I'm sure other places around the country, with a sign asking for help, begging really. Some of them are veterans, people who have committed themselves to go out and perhaps do whatever was required to protect this country. And now they're on the streets begging. This is for the people who are on food stamps or SNAP or whatever they call it, perhaps had that program cut back. This is for people who are unemployed, who don't have a job. For people who walk around with their pants sagging all under their behinds. It's for them as well. It's for people who find themselves despondent in life, who find themselves hanging around on street corners in some part of some ghetto or some other place they considered as appropriate to drink beer early in the morning, to get together and put their coins together and spend some time socializing as they drink their beer together and talk about the world they live in. And even those who assemble themselves out in some little holding room where they do drugs, shoot up, snort, whatever, just getting high or getting drunk. Those who find themselves out in the streets prostituting themselves, making money to pay some bills or some other financial costs they have, to clothe themselves or to go and buy drugs. For people who got jobs but are making minimum wage, this is for you. For those of you who got jobs but make a little bit better than minimum wage, and in fact, the wage you make, you thought you were doing, or think that you're doing pretty good compared to minimum wage. And to those who making pretty good, but they find themselves constantly having to go into debt to do the things that they want to do. This message goes out for you. And last but not least, this message goes out to the aggressors, the ones who think that they have to have it all, the ones who think that they are the ones that are responsible to have it all, that they're the ones who can dictate the way of life that benefits humankind. This message is also for you. It's not a very long message. In fact, it's a very simple message. And I just want to remind you, I'm not really telling you something you don't know. I'm just going to remind you of something you already know. And that is that you didn't make the world. I just have to say that. Or the universe. You didn't do that. Something else did. Something else. I don't know what else, but I call it powerful. And our being here, yeah, we got a role in the process that gives us the ability to determine how many is appropriate, kind of have some judgment on our population. We got that kind of control. That was given to us. We don't just pop out babies. We have to do some stuff to get them. And on top of that, ladies and gentlemen, that's a power that makes things work. I've heard it said that there's a top and there's a bottom. And both are essential. You need a top in order to have a bottom. You need a bottom in order to have a top. You need good in order to have an evil. And you need an evil in order to have a good. Isn't that confusing? So it almost make it seem as if whoever decided to make the world, especially where societies are concerned, their main concern and how it was going to actually operate to be successful is that men, humankind, would have choice. And out of the choice they make, they must be sincere to it. And in it, whatever your choice is, if you're totally committed, you will have life. If you commit to evil and you're totally committed to it, you will have life. You will. And if you're totally committed to goodness and kindness, you're totally committed, you will have life. You will have life. The problem befalls people who are not totally committed. The half-steppers, the lukewarmers, not cold or hot, they just in the middle there. You see, those who are totally committed actually empower themselves by knowing their connective powers to the source. They're not guessing. And to those who are totally committed to evil, it's not evil. It's good. It's the way life is supposed to be. It's like the saying that says, you think the weak is going to inherit the earth? No. The strong say that's a tale. That ain't going to happen. So anything you get is what the strong will leave you. And that's because the strong are deserving. Why are they deserving? They got it. Well, so it says, perhaps, and I'm not saying that this is true, that everything that God made is good. That if you're totally evil, oh, you're going to die. See, here's the key. Here's the key. That determines whether a person is totally committed or not. Everybody's going to die. That's a given. You might die, and you don't, well, at some strange time, you know. I think basically that kind of indicates that we might play a role in that process. Yes? Whether we die, what we might call ahead of time. See, because if you're given 70 years to live, then let's just assume, many people live many years beyond that, but we're just using this for an example. You got 70 years to live. Now, you can live out your 70 years, or you can live a life that might take you out of those 70 years. And it might not. Basically, what I'm saying is this. If you're going to be totally committed to good, if you're totally committed to good, then it is evil's responsibility. It is evil's duty to take you out. Otherwise, how would anybody know you're totally committed? Now, so you're actually saying you probably got taken out before your 70 years were over. Or you were, let's say, going to go the opposite way, totally evil. Well, you got 70 years too. Now, depending upon how you choose to live your life, you can get taken out anytime. It might be in a war, might be in a gang banging, might be in just kind of stuff that happens when you run around a circle of evil. And if it does, it just gets you early. Just like, or you can be so evil let somebody just take you out. Either way, you're going to die. But if you died because you were totally committed to what you were about, now that doesn't mean that you were rich. You can be poor, and if you're totally committed to whatever you're doing, even if it's evil, and get killed for being totally committed to evil and got nothing out of it. But you were thrill-packed. You lived the life that you were proud of, and no one can take that away from you. See, it's all about you, the individual, and your understanding and your commitment that determines your heavenliness or your hellishness. It's all on you. And God is the giver of these opportunities, and you are the captain of the ship. So it's on you. So you better hook up, find out some stuff. For me, my hookup is what I find out, I share it with you. Doesn't make me anybody special. Doesn't mean if you listen to it, it'll make you a better person. No, it doesn't mean any of that. It just means that I'm sharing with you what I've learned. So I want to leave it there, ladies and gentlemen, for this day before Easter. Thank you so very much for giving me this your time. Eddie Marcus saying goodbye for now.